Hey world, welcome in today. I'm Thorgan Ironside, and we're hanging out with Sweetpea704, an awesome mod author, human being, content creator extraordinaire. I'm apt to say all kinds of hypey things that she may or may not personally agree with. She's probably way more humble than all the things I'm apt to say. But I'm going to be placing some. Yeah, I'm going to place some of be placing at random right here a bunch of stuff from her newest mod, Tailored Spaces, and I'm going to shut up and let Sweet Pea tell us about herself. So, Sweet Pea, who are you? Oops, I guess keep forgetting that my push to talk is necessary for Discord. So, Sweet Pea, I'm going to place a bunch of your stuff here, and while I'm doing that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Chips are good. Everybody's got to have some chips. I've I've got this thing. I think the Starfield community is definitely a community of adults in general. That is awesome. I really like the egg pan. That's pretty cool though that you can put it on her stuff like that. I hadn't tried that. Everything in that I've messed with in tailored spaces just works excellently. It just works well. You know, the way you go to put something somewhere and it works the way you think it's going to work, which is nice. I think on the Guardian, everything just wants to sink into the Guardian, it seems like. Oh, God, yeah.
So much expanse, as far as the eye can see. Although in my case, the eye can see.
Oh, it is covered up and stuff. And then it's not just that bar. People don't already know this. Well, if they've been watching the stream, they might know this, but we can place another one that's a galley.
I have seen some views in my time, but not like this. Excluding, of course, that one time I went to that necromancer disco. That will never be told.
In my in my own testing, especially with like Misso's buildable walls, if you wanted to sink a little bit of the back side of that into the wall, it'll let you clip a fair portion of that corner there into the wall, and the galley is still perfectly functional. I like leaving it out though, like it would be IRL with that, not sunk into the wall, because I think it gives it a cool depth, especially if there's lighting in that area. That's nice. I like the way that sounds, and put the broken spear sign on it because it's like you have your own little piece of the bar there with you. That's pretty cool. Now these are the containers, the immersive containers and stuff. I really like this silver one. I use it a lot with Singularity Total Halves and go with the luxury gray and the black trim, and I think that just looks so good in a hab like that. Personally, that one right there is my favorite.
I wonder how big this planet is. There's so much of it. One could argue that there's a little too much of it.
I keep forgetting I gotta hit push to talk for you to hear me in Discord. So I have a hiccup every once in a while, but I'm remembering. But oh, every time I do that, I forget to set it back up later. But the ones right here, I love the sound that the small travel bag makes. But they're really cool. I use this clothes hamper. I think it looks so good. Like, just put in anywhere, it just looks really good. They definitely have that I am a container vibe. And hopefully, can you hear me now? I think all right, sweet. So I killed the push to talk, so it might make it a little bit easier. Every time I went to hit the push to talk to you, I was tabbing out of everything because I keep forgetting it was really making life challenging for me over here. And the fact that I haven't killed the stream or shut OBS down as many times as I was in the wrong screen. So for all you folks in chat, hey, I appreciate you all that are here. Synthetic Psalm, Sly, Res, Cougar Arcane, Ghost Rider, everybody. There's like a lot of people here. I'm sure I missed some people. I wasn't ignoring all y'all. I just kept accidentally clearing y'all's chats. So I'm sorry, but we have fixed that problem. Let's see if I can pick you up here. It's probably because I have. Let's see if I can figure out a way to fix that. I didn't think about that. Let me change, pick up just desktop audio. All right, let's do that. Hey, Hateful Senpai, how you doing, man? Let's see. I gotta grab it, or I'm gonna just add an audio source here. I'm just gonna add the desktop. All right, let's see if we got a Sweet Pea talking now. See if that's
Does
in
that
here.
work? Is that better?
It's probably crazy loud. I turned it down a little bit. How's that, everybody? Can we hear, hey, Ghost Rider? Can we hear Sweet Pea a little bit better now, chat? Yay, I am so sorry, y'all.
Yay.
I rushed into this, and so there's probably some technical difficulties. I didn't get the rest that I needed to prior to
Well,
doing
thanks
this.
for letting us know, guys.
Yeah, and sorry for back tabbing out of everybody's chat the whole time here. Every time I've been trying to say anything, y'all have no idea the struggle I've been facing on my side of the screen and trying not to let it be out there. There we go.
Hold on, I'm gonna quit my game. Okay,
Now,
there we go.
Now we might be able to do something. All right. So it's not a Thorgan stream without some technical difficulties and some hurdles to overcome. So for anybody who didn't hear Sweet Pea earlier, she is the mod author for Tailored Spaces, Immersive Workbenches. Oh God, it's a long list. It's a really long list.
The Den, yeah.
This
Yesterday
landscape
I put that.
feels like a dream.
It was funny. I was literally
Am I dreaming?
streaming,
Is all this just
and I had just bought the well apartment,
so?
and I'm looking around in the well apartment, and I'm just looking at it, and you could tell there's this point where I'm looking at the bathroom and I'm looking at the floor and how dirty it is, and I'm like, oh. And then 5 minutes, and it's funny because old man was in there and he's like, I can hear the wheels turning. And he's like, he goes, uh-oh, here we go. So I literally made a mod in the stream yesterday, and it's actually up there. I basically just emptied out the whole thing with the kitchens that don't work, like, really annoys me. And you could tell why, because look at my furniture. My furniture is furniture that's useful. I make it, but it, has a use to it. So
I like how all your furniture is super immersive, kind of like your mod immersive workbenches, right?
Yeah.
It has a point and a purpose. You're not just putting stuff up and just dropping static decoration for no reason. You can actually design around things.
Yeah. And, Miss O, she's the one that started the idea of doing immersive workbenches. But what I discovered, so I would drop hers down, and then I would try to decorate around it. And I think that, I haven't reverse engineered her, so I don't know this for certain, but I have noticed that when I would try to use the workbench, like the stuff that I decorated with would fly around the room. Like it would, and it was the activator that she used. So the activator she used was larger. And so I was watching this Jay Ramos video about him, making activators, and he shows you how to make activators that are small. Like, if you could drop one of those immersive workbenches, so I can. Doesn't matter which one. Okay, yeah. Okay, so like the activator is actually a bit smaller than that. So if you, it's like a square. Put down the industrial one. Put down, yeah, that one. Okay, so you see that size? That is exactly the size of the activator. So if you put that down, you can put a candle almost right next to it. And it won't bother it. Which is what I wanted to be able to do. Yeah, see how close you can get to it. Pretty close. Yeah, so, that's what I wanted to be able to do. I wanted to be able to decorate around the items, and what's nice, like you can actually take another one of the workbenches and put it really close to it, and even overlap a little bit, like some of them. The weapons one is big enough where it'll actually slide a little bit underneath the research one. I mean, and so the way I achieved that was just making a very small activator. So yeah, it doesn't like it because it's not enough space. If you move there, you can put it there and then just put the research bench right next to it. Tilt it a little bit. Like turn a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Usually I just turn it so it looks like I can look at it all right. So you see how close you can get it? You can get it really close.
You can get a lot of overlap there. I like taking the, I don't know why, but for me, I've been like trying to place the research bench, this one, and the pharmaceutical. I like to keep it near it, and then I squeeze the navigation console, the compass, in there somewhere, because it just fits in there. We'll show everybody real quick the world's smallest navigation console, or at least the smallest one in the settled system so far. Rosie's
and that was
a
request by Briar Shade.
And I'm glad she did, because I think I've put it on stream 2 or 3 times now, what the nav console means to me. But, because the whole compass thing from my dad. But isn't that cool, chat? That's the smallest nav table you're going to have to place anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a spot on your ship for a nav station, I think you're wrong. I think you can definitely find room for it with this. And it works so well because you can place it, it'll fit. I probably can't get it. I doubt I can get it on here with 2 things already, but still.
Just move the research bench back a little bit and it'll fit in front of it.
Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty wild.
Just
I just always assumed it wouldn't.
I think I have mine like that actually. Move it back toward the back of the thing. Okay, now try it. Okay. Put it off on that corner. Yeah, turn it a little bit.
There you go. Whoops. I hate it when I do that in the decorator. Hey, y'all, I've played the game before. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but I do that in the decorator all the time. That's amazing right there. How they all, look at it. We got 3 workbenches on that one desktop.
Tiny little bit.
Yeah, on that tiny I can't think straight to save my life, bookshelf. We have 3 workbenches on it. How awesome is that?
Yep.
That's tailored spaces at work there, and tiny activators. Hey, Christina.
And then on top of that, so Marv came in one night into the chat and he said, hey, because when you make custom workbenches, there's actually a keyword that you have to add that forces the player into third person. And so then once it has that keyword, then it would the cameras couldn't figure out how to get you back in first person. So they call it the third person bug. And I mean, it's not a bug, it's absolutely intended, but you know, with a custom workbench, it makes it where you can't go back into first person just automatically. And so he actually came up with a fix for that. I didn't even know it was a problem because most of the time I play in third person, so it didn't really affect me, and I didn't even notice it until he told me about it. So we figured out a fix for that, and so all of my workbenches do not. If you are in first person and you use the workbench, when you leave, you're still in first person, so you don't have to worry about if you're on a controller, you know, trying to get out of that. So, and I'm just gonna put this out there. So I do know that there is like a Z fight where you see that flickering on the side of it. You're not really meant to use these pieces without the end pieces. They're middle pieces, so just remember that.
yeah. That Z fighting, I put them out here just so we could see the different sizes. But yeah, folks, when you put these in game and click them in together where they're supposed to be, you don't. That's not happening. We'll show that here in a second. I was gonna just drop the pharmaceutical workbench where we could see coming into that first person. See that camera coming in and out. I guess I need to actually get in first person to do that. Hold on a second. Because this is what you were actually talking.
Yeah.
There we go. So now we're in first person. What she was telling us about. See how we come into the workbench, how the camera still keeps that angle. And now we're going to exit the workbench. And look how smooth that was. Stayed in first person.
Yeah.
Camera didn't do a whole lot of fighting. That's what Sweet Pea was telling us about, that Marv is added in there. And she's used in those. And let me show everybody that these won't be fighting. There are 4 different sizes and 2 different colors. So let's slap them together real quick so they're not they're not having that Z fighting going on. And everybody can see that that's not really a thing. Because when you're put in together, all that cleans up, you know. And it doesn't look that way when you're like all in game with it. It looks way cleaner and way better.
So I mean, and you know, and these are vanilla assets. They're not pack-ins. If they were pack-ins, I'd be able to fix it. And of course, it annoys me that I can't. You know, but it was either, you know, I like them so much that I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna take a little shit for this, but I like them. And you know, the things in the mod are things that I want to play with, and I love these cabinets. I just love them, and I learned how to make them snap together.
Everywhere I've put them,
the wall.
Everywhere I've put them, I've always used the end cap, or what I call the end cap. You know, if I'm going to have more than one, then there's one end's going to be the rounded end like that. Or both ends are going to be rounded like that. And so that Z fighting that we were talking about, everybody can see there. If you were placing this end, you wouldn't have too long. You'd just have one here and the curved one at the end, and you wouldn't have that she's talking about.
Yeah.
Because they look great. I love these things as far as placing workbenches and just using them for decoration. They fit so well in between the Stroud Premium Edition. I mean, I hate to just go run on. I have to show this because it is such a use case for these. And I know her stuff is Stroud Premium Edition. I don't know if the mod author is male or female. I have no idea. But their stuff is very popular. And just based on its popularity, I wanted to show people. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Here, you guys, ignore me. We'll run down to the bottom of the ship real fast, and I'll show people what I was talking about, how you can place some of this stuff, those counters in particular, and make a really good use case for them. Sorry about that. I squirreled hard. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I love looking at your shit because it has so much of my furniture in it. It makes me happy how much you enjoyed it. I was watching you decorate, and I was like, well, he's got about 3 hours using my mod just watching you decorate, and I was like,
Oh
well,
God, I've got way more than that
that's
in with
pretty
it.
great. Yeah, that's pretty great. Makes you feel good that people are using your stuff and enjoying it. You know, I
So
like how you alternated the colors of the rugs. That's neat.
yeah, I was trying to find a way to break it up. Hey Thea, hey Elevated Spark, hey everybody. I wasn't ignoring all of you guys in chat. I'm just really enjoying talking with Sweet Pea and letting you guys hang out for here. If y'all have any questions for Sweet Pea while I'm looking at this, I'll try to glance back at chat real quick and we can answer those. But what I was going to show in the Stroud Premium Edition, right? Especially this hab, but I noticed it's in some of the other like companion ways and the wedge shaped one. Anywhere you have this, like the planter and the opposing planter, they're not usually equidistanced, right? So you can put four of these. If you did it by the ones, you could do like the curved angle, and then you could do the 1x2, and then another of the end caps is what I call them. And you can get 4 there, 3 in the middle, and 3 on the other side. And it makes so much more cabinet. They look like they belong here, like they were meant to be there to me. I don't know, maybe other people may have a different idea, but I really believe that is probably my favorite use case for them. I mean, I've used them throughout the ship. They're everywhere, right? All the big habs have them in it somewhere. I used it for a centerpiece island here. Use it for workbench setups in here. But I had to show that while we were looking at him, and also wanted to show everybody, once you have these things in place in game, you don't have that Z fighting that Sweet Pea, I know, was, as the mod author, was worried about people seeing that on screen, probably thinking, oh my God, look at all that Z fighting. Look, folks, you put this stuff in game and use it the way it's meant to be, there is no Z fighting. It is beautiful and works gorgeously. Like, there's
And
a
I'll
good
tell you,
example.
and one
3 workbenches, could have easily put more on here.
if you have the empty, you know, like one of Angry's empty habs, you can put those cabinets down the middle, and there's no pathing issues. I've actually tried it, so that's another cool thing. So if you wanted to make like
Oh, so you could
you know,
do
like
it like take a singularity totally empty hab and use these for like a center island down the middle of it. Is that what you're saying?
put all your put all your
Yeah.
lab stuff, and you know, make it look like you have a lab or whatever.
Dag
So, and
nabbit,
that's
I don't have an empty hab on here. We'd do that real fast.
oh, you worked hard. I watched a lot of that decorating that you did. It was great. So the pink yucca, you have them downstairs.
Yes, I love those.
I'm gonna tell you a
That
sweet
guy.
story about it.
That
So
too.
my mom, my mom is my #1 fan. Like anytime she sees that I'm streaming, when she sees it on her phone, she turns me on and listens to my stream.
Well, if she happens to
And
be here, hey mom.
so, yep, and we call her Grammy, but so Grammy was here. We were gonna go to lunch. We go to lunch on Fridays at noon, and so she came, and I was ending up my stream, and I think I was in the middle of a quest. Oh no, I was working on this. So I was working on my I was working on this plant, and I was going through, I was doing the color varieties and looking at what the color varieties were, and there was a red one, and there was the pink, and there's like a yellow variety, and I'm like, Mom, which one do you like best? And she goes, oh, I like the pink. So, and then I was like, well, tell me what color, pot you like. And so I was showing her all the different options. She's like, oh, I like that silver. It matches your other furniture. And so if you pick that up and look at it, it tells you it's Grammy's plant. There's like in the description.
I've got a permanence thing on that. Hold on a second. I've done some stuff any settings wise on my ship. So some of my stuff that's already in my ship is not gonna move. So we'll put a new one down. Some of the stuff I have, once it's there, is there. The pink yucca, right? There we go.
Okay, so this is Grammy's beautiful pink yucca plant.
I'm gonna slide by
and
Raygon. Well, I said I was.
You see on the little description where it says that for her?
Yeah, there
This
it
is
is. This
Granny's beautiful
is,
pink yucca plant.
that is
And
awesome.
and she laughed. She loved it. You know, I was like, well, you're famous now, Mom. You're in Starfield.
Hey, Grammy, if you're here and you ever see this, I think that is awesome. And so that's like, I don't know if a lot of other mod authors catch this, but and a lot of content creators and a lot of people who play the game probably really don't notice things like this, but stuff like how the your navigation console, I put that in all my ships and in all my builds now because of the story with my dad and it being, hey, you'll never lose your way. And so that means something to me. You put something in your mod that has a personal touch from your mother and has its own story. And I wonder how many other mod authors and content creators have little things like that that the community never gets to know, you know?
Yeah. If you look at some other things that were particularly asked for,
Didn't Angry ask for the Weeping Willow or the Willow? Was it Angry who asked for
sorry
that?
about that. Yeah. So I think, and I think he forgot. Maybe I just,
I
wasn't gonna
love
do
this
it or
thing.
whatever. Oh my gosh, I looked for this. So weeping willow plant. So he said, can you get some of the weeping willows that are from? I think they're from Maheo. I think that's where they're from. So I was looking for this plant. I mean, I was looking everywhere for this plant. Could not find it. And so I finally found it quite by accident. And the reason I couldn't find it is because it's not called a weeping willow. It's a weeping aspen or something. And you're like, what? There's no such thing as a weeping aspen. I mean, it was so weird.
Some of the names are crazy in the creation kit.
Yeah. So if you look really closely at that plant, it's actually 3 of them smushed together. I don't know. If you put it up on a counter, you could probably tell.
I'll hit the zoom, we'll zoom in on it and see what.
And because when I put it down, I noticed that it wasn't very full looking. And then when I went out in the wild, I noticed that some of them were actually 2 of them smushed together. And I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So this is actually 3 of them smushed together and turned around.
My Xenos all wanted to get into their camera hogs. My Xenos are camera hogs. They're trying to get into the picture there. But when I zoomed into it, you could kind of see the trunks kind of brought in together like that.
Uh-huh.
I like these. Now, I don't know where you found the Xeno banana plant. I don't know where you got that thing from, but I'm obsessed with it. And with the decoration specific way to use it, I'm obsessed with it. I hate to just roam around the ship while we're talking to show these things that I'm squirreling on, but I absolutely love. I guess we'll just go to the captain's quarters and I'll put it in photo mode there, so that way we'll keep some of my rambunctious crew from hanging out too much.
If you notice, I did kind of like medium-sized plants. I use a lot of mods, and not just my own mods. I use a lot of mods, and I really like the bonsai mod, and it has teeny tiny little plants, and I use them a lot. And then, there's also really big plants. There's mods that give you really big plants, and this looks fantastic, Oregon. I love it. You did such a nice job.
Well, I mean, your mod, Singularity, Totally Empty Halves, and your mod, and a couple little things from like NIMS and Functional Decor, things like that really paired out well. But this is what I'm obsessed with. This is, I call that my tailored spaces comfy zone. I am obsessed with this wall. I want this somewhere in my life, in real life. I want those 3 black chairs. I want to find some purple Xeno banana plants. And I want that painting. I have no idea why, but I'm legitimately obsessed with that. I like off stream when there's nobody around. It's just me playing the game. I come up here and just set my character there and do nothing. I mean, it's cool that this looks really amazing. I'm not throwing off on that at all. But I don't know what it is that speaks to me about that. The way the banana plants and the picture and the chairs all look together.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, y'all, that's in that shot, except for the base of the hab and the buildable wall behind it, is all in the Tailored Spaces mod. Every bit of that. Almost this entire room is really, but okay, that's my squirrel.
Take
I'll
a
let
good
Sweet Pea talk. We'll look at the rest of the room real quick because it is very much a Tailored Spaces. Like the candles,
Yeah, so
I'm obsessed with these in general.
oh my gosh. You know what's funny? The candles might be my favorite thing that I added to the game. I mean, the candles and, I mean, the fireplaces. I love my fireplaces. But I like the light that they give. It's a very warm light, you know?
And I like the way it'll dance off the walls and stuff too, you know, and
Yep.
putting that glass around the candles like you did. I really think that's cool because it gives that reflection. It gives a little bit of color pop. We're using them like that in the different sizes.
And there's silver and there's bronze both. So there's, you know, you can do like different things. This little wood stove, so I wanted to do some more fireplaces, but I wanted them to be different. And so I did, like, if you look at all the little greebles and things I added, and those pipes I used to make, they're like pipe pieces. But look at the front of it. Yeah, those are the thing that makes the handle. Those are actually pipe pieces, and the thing that outlines the inset there, those are pipe pieces too.
That is very well done. See, people look at this who don't know anything about the kit, right? And they won't know that you had to like go and source different things, change up the materials, resize it, put it together, and know kind of what that's going to look like as you do it. That's not easily done. What I really like too, and you can't see it here because I used it in the decoration, these, when you go to place one of these fireplaces, the ones that have the vent pipe, it'll have a little ring around the outside of this, right? And you could, like it is here, and you could use that as if it was flushed up to the wall, but I've been using them as kind of a marker to sink it into the wall. And then when I have it sunk equally all the way around like that, and I have just the outer ring, I think it gives me like a nice flush fit. But it also helps me let me know that I've placed it straight, you know, if it's the same all the way around. I really like that. But she has these in silver, red, and black, right?
Yeah. And I did the silver and black, and then Sith was in there and he said, well, wouldn't it look nice if it was in red? And I was like, all right, just for you. And what's funny is I think the red one is like one of the most popular.
Oh, the red is beautiful.
So, and it matches the little red teapot. You can put the red teapot, you know, as a little pop of color to put somewhere else, you know.
Oh, I love the little teapots and the little, now I have an inventory issue sometimes that we run into, so if I go to place something and it doesn't place, that's not Sweet Pea chat, that's
yeah, it's in there. Go up to where the bronze candles are. That's where all of the decor items are.
So we have the bronze pot, and well, I have a little bit of spacing issue here up above. That's what I'm running into. I'm going to set these here for just, you know what? They would look really good on either side of the. Here, let's get us some.
There's a red one and a bronze one, both.
We're going to get us some teapots and put out here. And
now,
just because I like it, the cup or the go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you something cool about the cups. So if you have do you have enhanced displays? Do you have that?
I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, their enhanced displays has like a little shrunk down version of the silver bookshelf that has, and you can actually the teacups are items that you can pick up and keep in your inventory, so you can fill the little bookshelf with the little cups, so and like use it as a decoration. I'll have to do that so I can show you. I'll send you a photo of it so you can see what it looks like.
I had noticed the teacups had like, they just look a little different in the inventory menu, and I didn't know if it was something to do with that. Like they're grayed out.
Just drop them and
but they
physics will
doesn't.
make them drop.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have. I haven't had any problem with them at all. I just noticed that, and
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was something to do with something else.
And they're labeled as static. I mean, I did all the stuff, but it's just that they're in the game, they're considered like trash items.
But don't they look cool with the reflection
Yeah,
and
they're
everything? I love them.
But yeah, you can use them with enhanced displays, and they look great on that little shelf. So.
I need to get enhanced displays. I've been meaning to add that one in.
You would love it. Yeah, you'd love it because you can there's 3 different mods of it. There's items, there's weapons, and there's books. And like it has displays for all the magazines you pick up, and bookshelves, and it has the items, like how you find the different hats. It has displays for the hats, like all the little things that you like to collect. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. That will never leave my loot order. I absolutely love it.
Rest Cougar was telling me to jump on a chair and saying I could place things up on top of there, because
Yep, that's my big trick.
I had never thought of that.
Yep, I jump up on the chairs. Now you can put the on top of there.
Well, look at that. Go chat teaching me how to play the game that I got 2,000 hours in. Go chat. Go chat. Like I haven't ever played the game. I didn't even think about that, because a lot of times too it's your camera angle that keeps you from placing things.
Yeah.
It's not can it be placed or not. It's the camera angle.
There you go. Yeah, it makes it look like you're cooking.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? That's fun.
Look at you go, Rest Cougar. Ghost Rider said he's going to have him a seat there. But I really love everything. This is how something I really liked with the immersive containers, is I put 2 of them side by side and then made it a top for my industrial workbenches.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something different for the then I'd put the counters everywhere else in the ship, right? And I was like, well, I want to do something different. I want to use the desk, but I also want to put the other workbenches like behind it. And I was like, how can I use tailored spaces to do that without using a bookshelf? Because I was going to put a bookshelf, but I was like, well, I like my bookshelf down here. And I was like, boom, let's try this. And that worked out beautifully. But 2 of these together, and you can throw 3 of them on there, no problem.
Yeah, and it's perfect if you have a really small ship. If you have a really small ship and you want to fit a lot of stuff in there. Turn around and look at that desk. I'm going to tell you something about that desk. Okay, so see the drawers there on the left side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those drawers are actually not the drawers that come with it. I actually I made a dresser with planks and pipes. I totally custom made it. Did all the color swaps on it, and then I smooshed it over top of the existing drawers that were there, and then I did material swaps so that it would match everything. And
That
you know
is
what's funny?
amazing.
I love this desk because you can actually make a bed out of this. You can, if you take the like if you're in a really small space and you want to have maximize your space, you can take the futon and fit it on top of there, and then
Oh, that's
put
a
stuff
cool
underneath
idea.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
it's
could
great
use the
for
desk,
small space.
take the futon from decorations, or the bed futon, and throw on top of it, and you have a functional bed, and then you can put stuff under it. Sweet pea, that's
can-
genius.
Yep, you can even put, you know, workbenches around it. I mean, it really is a great time saver, or space saver.
I hadn't even thought of that. I'm going to try to run out of the ship here. I realize it's like 150 already. That's crazy. I think I could have a
Yeah.
conversation with Sweet Pea as a stream and take a whole lot more time than the time I had allotted today. Let's get back out here to the deck. I didn't mean to squirrel everybody. Sorry about that, chat.
Well, and just FYI, so I have Taylor Spaces. Hopefully, you know, I was kind of hoping they were going to tell me that. Oh, wait.
Is it? Have
You're
you got the
cleared for
release date?
tomorrow.
All
Yep,
right.
tomorrow, guys.
Hey, you
Okay.
guys, that's like a world premiere announcement here. We have
Yep.
world premiere with.
Just got it. 12:47.
Hey, it's official, folks. So the mod that we've been looking at, Tailored Spaces, there's some more of it here, right here. Here's some of our couches from it, and an end table. Tailored Spaces will be ready for creations tomorrow, right, Sweet Pea? Should be
that's
up and
word.
live tomorrow. Is that not
So-
awesome, everybody? How is that?
Let me see if I heard anything about. Let me see if I got any news about the other thing.
Here's another way you can
Update
make
coordinating.
use of her mod to get a lot of crew space in one 1x2. Just slap. I think you can get 2, 4. I think it's 16 crew members in one 1x2, and they all have a bed and a place to put stuff.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to
Technically,
see
you could
if
probably
it-
put more in there than that. Excuse me, y'all.
So, and then, yeah, so, Taylor Spaces will be out tomorrow, and then Fireside in the next week or so will have, probably not this week. I mean, it could be. They don't just do updates just on Tuesdays. It could be any of the day of the week. So in the next week or so, I imagine Fireside will have that update where the third person bug will be fixed on the galley. So
Nice.
and that's the Xeno barbecue that everyone loves. The guys, that was funny because they were like,
Fascinating.
we were literally in Discord and they're like, you know, oh, Sweet Pea, you need to add a galley to one of those. And I was like, all right, well, let me see what I can do. And I came up with this little Xeno barbecue, and it's just so funny. I just love it. I mean, if the detail on it, I put a lot into that. There's all kinds of, blood and meat and knives. And
I'm going to show
beer
that
and
Xeno
everything.
barbecue here in just a second on screen. This is some of your Walls of Starfield that
Yeah.
was in there. I'm going to eventually use Tailored Spaces and Functional Decor. That's all that's going to be in this hab when it gets finished. I'm going to make
I
it
love
completely
Functional
Tailored Spaces and Functional Decor, and I think it'll turn out really nice. I just wanted to show everybody that some of those, the Walls of Starfield isn't a complete mod by Sweet Pea, but the entire updated version of Walls of Starfield is actually in Tailored Spaces.
Yeah, and Walls of Starfield, June 22nd of this year was the anniversary of Walls of Starfield. And, we were all just, someone said, we're just kittens bopping around in the dark trying to figure out how the CK works. And that is more true than you can say at the time. But I have learned so much since then. I haven't taken down Walls of Starfield because it has 58,000 downloads. So I'm not going to screw up anyone's game, but I was like, you know what? Tailored Spaces is the culmination of everything I've learned in this last year. And I'm actually going to UAH and taking a lot of, there is actually a game design degree at UAH, and I'm taking level design, I'm taking I took game design. I learned Unreal, made 5 different video games last year.
This is
using Unreal
something
Engine.
I would like for you to tell everybody, because a lot of people don't know
Okay.
this. I tell people all the time, Sweet Pea's an amazing mod, author, content creator, teacher, extraordinary human being. And I say that, and a lot of people don't realize that you are actually a teacher, an instructor,
Yeah.
and somebody who's working to learn more in, game design. And so if you tell us about that for just a second, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I was an art teacher. I taught really interesting story. The school I taught out was a little Catholic school that was the first integrated elementary school in Alabama. So there you go, the very first one. It was actually a Catholic school. It wasn't a public school.
Nice.
But I taught art at this school, and I also taught computer science. And what's really funny is the whole reason that there was computer science at this school was because one of the 8th grade teachers came to me and said, "Hey, we don't have anywhere to put these 8th graders, on at Thursday at 2 o'clock, and can you just watch these, 8th graders?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "They're not going to be in my room if they're not learning something." I was like, how about I teach them computer science during that time?" And because I saw a need for it. My mom always said, if you see something that needs to be done, that's God telling you to do it. and so I'd been kind of scheming, like, okay, I wonder how I can get these kids in here to teach them computer science. So ended up getting a grant, ended up starting a robotics team at the school, and after 3 or 4 years, I was teaching computer science to everyone, pre-K to 8th grade. So and then it kind of, the school, like, I'm old, I'm over 50, and they were like, well, they got a new building, and they were like, well, we don't have anywhere to put you, and because you remember with COVID, the cost of the building went up, like more than doubled what the cost of the building was going to be. So they were only able to do like half of the idea they were going to do. No, there's not even a office. They don't even have offices. So everybody's, just shoved in there, and they're like, well, you're going to have to do like mobile, you're going to have a cart. You're going to just push this cart around and all this stuff. And the thing is, I probably could do that in my 20s. I think that would have been fine. But I've got to have a desk. I have to have a desk. I'm too old to be sitting on the floor. And
let me go ahead and explain this to all our audience that is not, reached a certain age in life. There comes a time to where, yes, I can do this for a little bit, but is this going to be my day-to-day, every day? No. And that sounds like that's what you were experiencing. It's like, you deserve a desk.
Well, so then there was also a thing where the Diocese of Birmingham, they really want people to be certified in what they're teaching, and I wasn't certified in art. I had an elementary education certificate, but I did not have an art certificate. And so I was like, you know what, while they're doing this building program, and they are going to finish the building program, and there will be offices and art and all that kind of, they're going to even have computer labs and everything else. It's just going to take a long time. It's going to take probably 5 years before all of it's done.
Whoops.
That is really cool, though, that they're going to be doing all that, though.
It is. It's great. So, but I was like, you know what? I can go back to school and get my art certification. And so that's what I did. I went back, and while I was there, while I was doing studio art, and I had to have a bunch of different classes, they opened up a game design class, and I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty neat, And so I took game design class. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And at the end of the semester, the guy's like, hey, we're going to actually have a game design minor. And I was like, oh, that's really great. So then I took the computer game design. Took
Nice.
that, and I absolutely love that. Well, meanwhile, I'm playing Starfield, and the whole way I became a modder was, I had been console coding things. Like, if there was trash on the floor and I didn't want to see the trash, I would console code it and then say disable, you know.
Right, right.
And so I went into you know, I went into the sleep crate, and I wanted to put something down. I wanted to. The bed was gross. It's rusty. It's nasty, and I'm like, you know, I just want to get rid of this gross bed and this toilet-looking thing that's just absolutely disgusting. So I started console coding the stuff. Well, it's all a pack-in. Oh, I mean, so I was doing that, and then someone was like, you know, if you want it, other people want it, so try making a mod. And I go in the creation kit, and I deleted one little thing and found out that the entire thing is a pack-in, and there was nothing left. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. I mean, so it was like best case scenario.
Right, right.
I was able to just decorate the whole thing. I loved it. And then the other thing I wanted was walls. I wanted something where I could, you know, make little spaces for beds and bathrooms and stuff like that. And so I made Walls of Starfield, and which is still my most popular mod. I mean, still.
It is an awesome mod. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I like it.
I look at that and I'm like, it's terrible. because I didn't know how to do variations, and I didn't know how to do all that stuff yet.
That would be why you did an updated version of it right here.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then, you know, and then I didn't do anything for a long time. And then at Thanksgiving break, I was playing the game, and I got 2 alternate universes in a row where I didn't really want to go hang out at the lodge because it was dead depressing, right? You're not a member of the Constellation. You don't get to. There's no benefit to the lodge almost.
Right,
you know?
none. If you're not active in an active universe, there's no benefit to the lodge at all.
And what's terrible is I didn't even really realize how awful it was going to be to see the hunter there, and I don't want to give anything away if you guys haven't this experience, but I was like basically traumatized for life. I didn't really want to go back there at all. And then I got, right after that, I got the evil Walter. So 2 times in a row. And up until then, I had never had an alternate universe. And then I got 2 in a row. So, so anyway, I was like, this is really awful. And so then I thought, you know, I'm going to make the den, you know, I'm going to put the little benches here, that kind of stuff. And so I did that, and people really liked it. I had a mod that was like that was a Nexus mod, but after one particular update, remember that update that just broke everyone's mods?
Yes,
it was
yes,
like in the spring.
Yeah.
After that that mod would crash my game. I have absolutely no reason. I don't know why, but it would crash my game. And this was before I got my new computer, so maybe today it wouldn't at all. It could have really just been that old computer I was using. So anyway, I really realized, I was like, you know, I really like this modding thing, you know? And then I had decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to school, like full time. And I had been taking like 1 class at a time, but then when I found out I was going to not have a desk and have to go door to door or whatever, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I went back to school, and then I kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a go, like being a modder, and started steering my schedule more towards taking the computer classes. I took Python programming. I took, you know, so I'm starting to really learn a lot even more about the computer stuff. But it's the perfect job for me. Art and computers, you know, I have a bit of computer savvy, all in one job. So I even get to use my teaching. So.
And you're an excellent communicator, Sweet Pea. I think you should really, and I hate to say this, but one, I love the interview series that you're doing. So for those who don't know, Sweet Pea does what I'm doing, but a better version of it. And she's been doing it almost weekly. So she's been interviewing different content creators, mod authors, etc. And she does a really good job of that. And she's
Yeah,
also
Ghost Rider.
an
About
excellent
2 weeks.
communicator. And she taught me how to do advanced material swaps. That's something I think that you really, really, really exceed in, is in like showing other people how to do things. That's a part of Sweet Pea that people who aren't members of the Dark Star Discord or who haven't been hanging out with us in chat, that that's a part of you that they're missing out on. You know, they don't know what a wonderful communicator you really are in a one-on-one environment, you know, and I wish we could get that to shine through somehow to everybody, but it's amazing and I appreciate that. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna try to, while we're talking, I'm gonna try to pull up your mob page here on creations. It's got like all your stuff on it. See if I can get my screen switched over here. There we go. I think I switched it. I don't have OBS where I can. Yeah, I switched it. Yeah, we're good. I just wanted everybody to get a look and see all these different mods that you've made. So we're talking about, she's made the Walls of Starfield. This is the first one. And, you know, we're using parts of it here on my other screen, but that's the Walls of Starfield. The Den under new management. Honestly, this is how I discovered Sweetpea704, everybody. This mod right here, and it is actually probably, I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea, it's probably one of the worst reviews I ever did, but it was one of my earlier reviews. That's crazy. We meet through this same mod, you know, really. And I appreciated it so much. I tried to do an early review, and like my craft is changing as it goes, but it's very well done. Yeah, yeah. It would absolutely piss Orville off to do anything to make the den better. Yeah, yeah. Here, I'll go back as a picture. There we go. I love the lore behind it. I could so see Orville doing that too. I love that. Hey, Rapin Swift. Uh oh. Sorry, Sweet Pea, we lost your audio when I switched things. I didn't realize that. Hold on one second. Let me add you. I gotta add that audio back. I didn't realize that chat was saying, "Notice me, senpai," and I didn't think about when I switched to this screen. It didn't have the audio capture. I can add that real fast. Boom, boom, and we should have some Sweet Pea 704 coming in hot. Maybe when it decides to work. Maybe,
Was it
maybe.
working now?
There we go. Now we're cooking. Now
Okay.
we're cooking. Hey, now can y'all hear Sweet Pea?
Yeah.
All right.
Can
Sorry
you hear
about
now?
that, y'all. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I forgot when I switched scenes. I hadn't added the mic in there. That was my bad.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is for the den under new management again is I want to learn how to make a legit player home, and I also want to do some more quests because I have ideas for quests, and for like the practice of that I'm going to do some I'm going to make a player home. There's going to be a quest to it. It's going to be like old and have furniture that has drop cloths on it and all that stuff, and you're going to have the opportunity to clean it up.
Oh, that'd
and
be really cool.
and you can yeah, and you can either have it that way decorated, um or I'm going to do that thing. One thing we all learned from the Watchtower apartment is all of the items are as keywords, and if they're listed as keywords, that means that you can delete it. And so if you don't like the furniture that's there, you can delete it, or you know, you can keep what's there and just use
Mm.
it. But what I think is kind of exciting about it is that I'm going to be able to make some custom furniture because it's furniture that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily furniture that's current in other places. So I had the feeling that I'm going to be able to do that, like do some custom pieces and um, almost be like glimpsing into the past. And I'm gonna do some shopping. I'm gonna do some looking around um, older places and get some ideas. So I'm kind of excited about it. It's gonna, look for this around Christmas, but
That
we'll
sounds
see.
really good. That's gonna be so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
There
I
is
you
one
know
in
it.
there, synthetic Psalms. Sorry about that, Sweet Pea.
Oh,
I
you're
was
fine.
Go
So
ahead.
just saying, you know, I just think, what do I want to learn next? And so that's basically what I do. I just want to just keep growing as a mod author.
I think what I have on screen here is tailored spaces. Shot of
No,
tailored spaces. Not
this
tailored
is the
spaces,
Sleep
but
Crate
sleep crate. I
Deluxe.
don't. See your name in my head, and tailored spaces pops up. Sleep crate deluxe is what I meant to say. Yeah, this
Yeah.
one. I was gonna see if you could tell the people about the amazing stuff you did as you expanded this.
Yeah.
This is a
So
pretty cool
Sleep Crate
story.
Deluxe. So I was like, well, heck, let me make this a bigger, space. And um, so I went in there, and there were a couple things I wanted to fix. There was kind of a bug where if you see where that rusty kind of plank is that's right by the door, there was
Yeah,
actually a wall there that you could see through one way, but you couldn't see through the other. And so I wanted to fix that, but I had to find a piece that was, still fit the vibe of this player home. So I fixed that, and I thought I was just gonna be able to move the walls over, but the little yeah, stay right there. So you see that little like looks like a railway crate that's to the oh wait, go back to the outside so I can see the outside of it.
that one, I think, or
Can
the
you
one where you're sitting there.
that there?
Yeah,
Okay, so you see that little railway crate that's right to the left of the door. Okay. So was actually a cube So I couldn't just move the wall. It was all one piece. So I had to like totally find a different, a different wall that was going to work. And so, but once I figured that out, and I had to restart this like twice. The thing about neon, so this is a part of the cell, all of neon. So you can't screw up neon, you
Right.
can't screw up
Yeah.
neon. So, I mean, if I messed up, I just I literally just threw the mod out and started over. And because I had some problems with the door. That was one of the ones I was just like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to restart. But so then I had to learn how to make the volume bigger, the decorating volume bigger. So, and I was literally watching the Jay Ramos video about his toilet quest. That's what
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
watching. And there's this one little part where he says he actually uses a volume a volume marker as an activator for the quest. So you walk through it, it's invisible, you don't see it, but it triggers the next part of the quest. Do you ever notice in the game where if you walk into a certain spot, your companion will say something?
Yeah. Absolutely. You got to
Like a
hit
very
those
specific
activation
line?
markers. Yeah.
Yeah. And so those are usually volumes. So if they walk through them, then they say that. Okay. So, you know, and he said, "Oh, and all you have to do is hit R, and then these little arrows pop up, and you just pull it out." And I'm like, "What? That's what I needed to know how to do." And so I went into the mod, I hit R, I made the volume bigger, and that was it. Then it was done. And then I realized, you know what? I want to be able to decorate the outside of the crate. And so I pulled the box, and it looks just like a box. I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. I pulled it out almost to that line in the sidewalk. Um, so that you can put a chair there, you can hang stuff up on the outside, you can put a plant.
Yeah. If you
Um,
see Captain Danger there, you've
yeah,
added the picnic basket. I think you had the crate there.
picnic basket was actually already there. That was there.
Yeah, it
But
was, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I added the cooler and the plant, and you can put shelves out there. And what's really fun about it, you can actually even smash a pharmaceutical bench, and if you angle it, you won't see the picnic basket, but it'll sink into it.
Nice.
And any kind of like, activator or anything that's like a workbench or anything that you put out here, the NPCs that walk by will use it. And I just
That
think
is
that's
really
so
cool.
fun.
So you
And
could like
people are like,
have the world NPCs walking by using your decorated items. That is
yeah,
really cool, Sweet Pea.
they'll
That's a
sit in the
nice touch that a
chairs.
lot of people would miss. That is really
And
neat.
this is the only, player home in the whole game that's like that, where, it's really a part of the world, and the NPCs that are there like will come sleep in your bed. I mean, which is kind of funny. If you put the bed very close to the door, you might find an NPC sleeping in your bed or
That
sitting
is
at your
really
counter or
cool.
whatever and eating your food. I mean, it's really kind of funny.
I
So,
unfortunately have to hop off here in just a few minutes to get ready to. I've got some things
yeah,
I
I
gotta
gotta
go
go get
run
ready
around
for
do
school
for
too.
myself, but I did want to hop over here and just while I've got you here and
Hmm.
everybody, you should take a look at this and see all these amazing mods right here. There's all these are awesome. I don't have them all. I need to get them all. It I have fireside, immersive workbenches, well, Walls of Starfield's built into tailored spaces now, and the Den under new management. Noel's greenhouse, that's an addition, folks, for Tank Girls. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. Help me out there, Sweet Pea. What's Tank Girls mod?
Harvest,
Uh,
Galactic Harvest.
yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened to my brain.
I put her kitchen in there and her botany workbench, so
Mm-hmm.
you can literally start all your plants. Go. this is how you do it. You go to her kitchen. You figure out what foods that you want to eat of hers. You make those plants on the botany thing. I give you all the resources you need to get started in the other room, like right outside Cora's bedroom. There's water and nutrient and structural.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff in there. I have this
Mm-hmm.
like the first time you go into the lodge after you've installed this, you're like, wow, there's a whole bunch of cool new stuff here. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, I think
The
there's a picture
storeroom,
of it.
that's the storeroom that's not used.
Hmm.
And you can, yeah. So what you can do, you can plant all your plants, go do your startup quests with Sarah, and then when you come back, you have everything you need to make your little planters on your ship, and then you don't have to worry about it. You got your carrots for your carrot smoothie. You got, your Nova Bloom for your, potions that you like, or you just have everything you need.
There's just so many good mods here. I wish we had more time today. And I also like to apologize to you and to chat both for the technical hiccups.
Oh,
This is my first time doing like an interview style thing with somebody or a conversation with another person on stream like this. So I didn't quite do it the way I wanted to do it, but I think
oh, it's
Sweet Pea
fine.
saved the day on it. So thumbs up to Sweet
Yeah.
Pea, folks. Uh,
So the core manor house flip, that one, this was something I just really wanted. Well, first of all, it's got a fireplace in it. What's funny, I made that while I was making Fireside, while I was working on it.
that's awesome.
But if you look at it real quick, I know you have to go, but
Oh, you're okay.
um, if you open that up real quick, what I did was I didn't like the bedroom that it had with it. It had this really long, skinny bedroom. And so what I did was I moved the bathroom up to the front of the house, so it's kind of in the middle of the house. Yeah, you got all this space. I took out the kitchen didn't work, so I can put Tank Girl's kitchen in. So I moved the bathroom, and then I have this huge bedroom in the back, and that's so big that you
That
can
thing is
add. You have a little,
huge.
yeah, it's huge. Now you have a huge space to put your workbenches, your bed, your little, all your trophies. You can put all your mannequins up and everything.
That's
So
a
now,
much better flow and layout
yeah.
than the than
Mhm.
the default in-game layout.
Mhm. I really like how it turned out.
I
And I
might
love
have
the
to pick
fireplace.
that up.
That fireplace is the lodge fireplace. And I also made sure that the collision is such on the fireplace that you can put Tank Girl's mounted heads up there.
That is really cool.
And actually that that little, what do you call that? Mantle.
Yeah, yeah.
I tested that extensively. You can put all kinds of functional decor. You can put the statue of Solomon Coe and like all your little gigas up there.
Well, I don't currently have a player home in Aquila, so I guess I'm gonna have to snatch this mod up. That'll be getting got. Uh, I love it.
That's
Core
actually
Manor
one of my
House Flip.
favorite mods. I mean, that I made. I mean, that I frankly just use the most. That's probably the one I use the most.
It's got a
Because
good
I always
location in
and
Aquila
well,
too. You know,
okay, fire sign, but I use that the most probably.
of all the player homes in the cities, I've always thought the Core Manor House had the best location for like usability in the city.
Yeah.
Like the one you get for completing the Vanguard quest line in New Atlantis. I always thought this is just a terrible location for. I mean, it makes sense lore wise, right? But
Right.
it's just really inconvenient for the player. The Core Manor House, that's a nice central location right there. You're good to go. I like
What's
that.
funny, as far as player homes in New Atlantis go, I think that the well is actually the better location
Yeah,
because
it's
it's right
closer
next
to
to Jake's.
yeah, and closer to the dock and everything. You can get wherever you need to go. It's just really inconvenient, the other one.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
And that was one of the other reasons why I made the den was because, and that's one of the other reasons why I want to make it a player home because you don't have to like go through the whole city.
yeah.
You don't have to go through the whole city to get to like the lodge. You have to go through the whole city to get there. there's no.
Super
I mean, it's
inconvenient.
not easy. Yeah, it is. It's not super easy to get there, and I mean, you can just to get there. It's easy, but I don't know. I guess you can fast travel everywhere, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem very convenient. So.
Well, as much as I don't want to end the thing, I do have to wrap it up because I do got to take the kiddo to the dentist. I got to
All
go snatch him up out of school and get him to the dentist today.
right.
But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came in and hung out during the chat. Thank you, Sweet Pea, for coming on to the stream and having a chat with me. I really wanted to get everybody out there an opportunity to see some of your stuff instead of just hear me talk about it. I wanted them to hear you, and I think that's really neat. And I just super appreciate everybody. Normally, I end everything for people who's in my chat with a whole bunch of me talking about all these wonderful people that I'm shouting out and dropping all these shout outs for, flying through real quick. But we don't have time for that today. And that's not the focus of it. But I'm still going to throw them up there. So, everybody, while I'm running my mouth, if you see something pop up on screen, these are all people that I approve of and think are awesome. But the last one that's going to go is going to be, we're going to end it with that one from Sweet Pea. So when you see the very last time Sweet Pea rolls up, and a shout out for Sweet Pea there on the Twitch chat, I don't know if it shared it out appropriately to the YouTube chat or not, but we can add it in there. I can type and talk at the same time, believe it or not. But I do wanted to say thank you all for coming in and hanging out, and I hope you guys all appreciated some time with Sweet Pea. 110% do check out Sweet Pea's YouTube channel. Check out Sweet Pea's mods on the creation and her mods that are also, she's got some on Nexus. The paid verified creator stuff is on creations because that's where all verified creations are. And some of the other free stuff is also available on Nexus. So please check out all of Sweet Pea's stuff. She's an amazing human being, amazing instructor, teacher, mod author, just a cool person to hang out with. I've spent a lot of time in Discord talking with Sweet Pea. She's taught me how to do several things in the creation kit. Matter of fact, the things that I know how to do in the creation kit is simple as basic movement in the freaking window. She taught me better ways to do that. So I really encourage you guys to all check it out. Sweet Pea, you want to say anything to the chat?
Oh, I just want to, thank everybody for being so supportive, and you know, I think Starfield's gonna be around for a long time. I know. If you listen to the haters, you don't think so, but and it's because of everyone I've met has been so kind, and helpful, and really like a family, and I really appreciate every single one of you.
I concur 100%. And unfortunately, I got to wrap it up there, folks. Ghost Rider, Thee, Sly, all you amazing people. I can't see enough of my chats quick enough to remember who all was here. Y'all know I'm not that smart. We've hung out in my streams. We know this. But IB Pip, Raven Swift, Bablonia, everybody, Elevated Spark, Christina, all you folks, Thea. There's so many. I'll never get everybody. Y'all know I suck at that. But I appreciate you all. And thank you for coming out and hanging out and getting to hear Sweet Pea tell us a little bit about herself because she's amazing, and do go check her out. And I unfortunately need to say goodbye to everybody for the day. And Sweet Pea, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
And
If
thank you for listening.
you guys have a good one.